Hello my dears and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon and today I've got another spoiler-free book review to share with you guys. This is the last video before we switch over to December and things get a little festive around here. Not to worry, there'll still be some book-related content and things like that, but there'll also be tons of Christmas vlogs. So let's just get into this review. So today we are talking about The Traitor by C.A. Lynch. Now, from what I can tell, this author has released other thrillers in the past under her full name, Carissa Ann Lynch, but this one is credited as C.A. Lynch. So we'll go with that since that's what's on the book. Anyway, this was a fast-paced mystery. I'd call it a mystery more so than a thriller, and I was able to read it in a day. Just this whole afternoon I spent reading it. Loved it. So I'll give you the brief synopsis about it, and then some final thoughts, and then we'll go our separate ways until December 1st. So this is the story of a bunch of people. We get a lot of points of view in this one, and it might be a little tricky for me to remember all their names properly, but I think I've got it. So basically, there's this house in this town, and they call it like the Beechwood Castle. Beechwood? I don't know. And back 27 years ago, there was a really horrific murder that took place there. It was 1996, and 3 teenagers were killed. So now, many years later, a bunch of people in this town are getting letters inviting them to go to the house, and if they can make it through the entire night, they can split 6 ways $1 million. So the letters are being sent out to these people, and we're getting chapters from each of their points of view as they receive the letter, and in that chapter we learn a little bit about them. So first of all, we've got Stacy. She's 25 years old. She has a YouTube channel in which she talks about true crime. She co-hosts that channel with her best friend, but they've had a falling out over something that she did regarding the channel that got her a lot of flack, a lot of negative feedback, because what she did was terrible. So she gets a letter to go to the house, and she thinks it's because, you know, she does true crime on YouTube. Next up, there's a girl named Loli, and she was one of the teenagers in that house on the night that everyone got killed. But she was the final girl. She managed to escape, and now she's, you know, 40 odd years old, and she's got a teenage daughter, and she's caring for her father with dementia. So it's pretty clear to her that she was invited because she was there that night. Then we have a woman named Bonnie, and she's a psychic. She reads tarot cards. She does other sort of psychic things. She comes from what she believes to be a long line of witches, and she figures that's why she was invited, because she's got, you know, that gift. Then there's a man named Cornelius, who's an architect and just terrible in general. And he believes he was invited there because he's an architect. And the house has been purchased and they're going to be renovating it. So he thinks he's being brought there because they're going to want to work with him to renovate this house. Then there's Penelope. She's sort of a stuck-up older woman who writes true crime novels. And she's very popular, especially back in her heyday. Lately things have slowed down for her because people say she's difficult to work with and just a pain. And so it's been a while since she's gotten a big book out there. And finally, there's a police officer named Rad, who was also a police officer at the time when the murders took place in the house. So he thinks he's been invited because he was very involved in that murder and something that happened afterwards. So as we're reading from all their points of view, you really get the feeling that aside from a couple of them, most of them they're just really sketchy people. whether that's because of circumstance or because of who they are as people. They've all got something that you're like, oof, not great, not great. And we learn all that, and then we see them all head on into the house. And like I said, if they make it through the night, they all can split a prize of $1 million, but there are rules. Like, if anyone leaves the property at any point in time, they forfeit their portion of the money, and then it gets put back into the pool to be divided between 5 people. Also, there are a lot of rules. Like, you can't bring your cell phone in, you can't bring cameras in, you can't bring this, that, and the other thing in. If any of those rules are broken, you forfeit your money and you're asked to leave. And another thing that they learn once they're finally in there is that one of them is an imposter who's not supposed to be there. And there's this whole thing, sorry if you can hear my dog pitter-pattering along, but so there's an imposter, and the thing is, if they can correctly guess who the imposter is, they get an extra $500,000 added to their tally when they leave the house. But if they guess wrong, they immediately have to leave. So those are the rules, and those are the people. So from there, it just kind of becomes a picking them off one by one sort of situation, where a lot of people end up dead. Hey girl. I enjoyed it. I like a good, oh, sorry. I like a good mystery from time to time. I didn't find the final reveal too shocking, but I really enjoyed the journey to get there. All of these characters are interesting, if not likable, you know. The ones that aren't likable, they're still very fun to read about, I found. It kept me engaged. Like I said, I read it in an afternoon, and I'm glad I did. And I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for C.A. Lynch in the future. And if you like a mystery, this dog was asleep when I came to start filming. Anyway, if you like a mystery, sort of that good old-fashioned type of whodunit, who's doing it sort of mystery, I think you'd really enjoy this. And this book comes out, I've noticed discrepancies in when it says it comes out. NetGalley says the end of January. I saw on Goodreads it said the beginning of February. At any rate, mark your calendars, it's coming out soon. And yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've read any other books from Carissa Ann and what you thought of them. And I will see you guys again really soon for an exciting month of videos in December. Bye guys.